Welcome, David. Great to have you on our Leaders Who Care series.
Thank you, Mark. It's wonderful to be here.
I know we were joking around about this, that I needed to call makeup and wardrobe after how you look and everything. But my series will be valuable based on the guest's dress, not the host's dress, basically. So, as Billy Crystal would say, you look marvelous.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that.
I'm so happy to have you here because what I've discussed with you and learned about your character, your mindset, your goals, and whatnot, you definitely fit the bill of one of the leaders who care. So I'm honored to have you on this, and let's start sharing about some good stuff. So, how about if we start with briefly introduce yourself, who you are, a little bit about your family, maybe something no one knows that you want to announce today, anything like.
Okay. Well, as you said, I'm David Cook. I am originally from Chicago. I grew up in Miami, so spent most of my formidable years in Miami. So yes, a lifelong Miami Hurricanes fan.
Yeah.
I am a very proud parent of two, and I'm a proud husband of a lovely wife, and really try to enjoy life and try to make sure that that those around me are enjoying life as well. From a career perspective, I am currently the Senior Vice President for Human Resources, um, uh, Security, and Mission and Culture, and the Chief People Officer for TriHealth, which is a integrated health system based out of Cincinnati. And my career has spanned multiple industries, and healthcare being most recent, the last 13 years. But I have always been in HR because it was my first love, and it's what I chose to do coming through my junior year of college when I just made that decision. I've loved every moment of it. I continue to love it, and it's a passion for me.
So do you carry the swagger of the Miami Hurricanes as an HR leader, or what?
Uh, I would probably say I do. I do. I honestly try not to operate as the stereotypical HR person. Sometimes the reputation is earned. Sometimes it's not. But I certainly I firmly believe, and I share with everyone that I'm around, be it customers, team members, direct reports. Um, um, I am a business person that happens to have specialized skills and knowledge in HR. And that's how I function. And that's how I love for any team that I have the privilege of leading to function as well.
Yeah, I actually love that description because HR has had many titles and descriptions over the years. Yes. And the most important one is the human part that we sometimes forget about. And, you described to me when we talked the importance of leveraging where people get more from their work than just making money.
Yes.
Cool. So before we delve deeper into all you do and whatnot, share with us what your why is, and when did you kind of discover this? And basically, I'm asking, why do you do what you do?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. It's a great question. I would say I'll start with I do what I do because I think, I believe, and I think, and over the years, been able to show that I can have a positive impact on others through what I do. And that's one of the main reasons I chose human resources, because everything I do is about the people in an organization. It's about how to help each individual find their way, be their best, have the best possible outcomes for their career, grow, and see themselves continue to progress in life through their career. And that's really the why I even started in HR and stay within HR. And we in HR, we have the ability to impact every facet of any organization we are in. And to me, that is fascinating, that is challenging, and that's rewarding. Early in my career, I also, realized that when people take time to make the work environment fun, they find time to have balance between their home life and work life. their outlook on so many different things becomes more positive. And I made sure those things were a part of who I became and who I am. And I try to present that to everyone that I come in contact with, to have that perspective, because it cannot be all about work if you truly want to have a positive impact on those around you.
Yeah, I find it interesting that you've been in different industries and ended up in healthcare, because when we talk about leaders who care, part of that is they care about the well-being of their people.
Yes.
And so you evolved in your career to taking care of people.
Yes.
You ended up in the healthcare industry, taking care of their people and their health and their well-being, which is probably where you were supposed to end up, maybe, because of that.
That's a great point, and I'd agree with you. When I first thought of coming into healthcare, I actually was not excited about it because I was thinking of it from the standpoint of, healthcare did not have the greatest reputation for progressive HR practices and those types of things. But really, what convinced me was when I started understanding and I discovered the true mission of health systems and how they carried out that mission. I was convinced at that moment, and I have loved every minute of it since then. And it is very rewarding knowing, being crystal clear on what our mission is each and every day, to make sure we are taking the best care of every patient, and providing the best level of service and experience to every family member of each one of those patients. It's easy to get behind it. It's so easy to get behind it, and then so easy to take that to what you're doing with the team members in the organization, because you're so singularly focused on what our outcomes need to be.
Yeah, I still have a big client, world headquarters client. Well, it's Burger King. Their world headquarters is in Miami, and
Yes.
they used to take their headquarter people out on, wasn't called a retreat, let's call it a retreat, once a year, to remind everybody that they're not in the accounting business, the marketing business, the
Yes.
HR business, the supply chain business. They're in the business of making people feel good with the food that they eat. Uh,
Yes.
and whether you like the food or not is a different story. But the point was, what are we doing? And
That's right.
and why are we doing it? And it leads me to, it's taken, it seems, decades for corporate leaders to realize that purpose and social impact is actually better for business results
Right.
and better for attracting and keeping the best people. Share with us how you've created basically an environment of what you call it, you're having teammates,
Yeah.
as well as as a pathway basically for what their individual aspirations are, how you can how you bring your values forward, and to not only have you be a leader who cares, if you will, but developing other people like that as well.
Sure. No, absolutely, and that is a critical um, aspect of what we do as leaders, um, that more of us need to truly understand and really put into focus. I'd say for me, it starts with three things. There are three things that I always share with any team, and I share them repeatedly. It's not a one-time thing. It really becomes part of who we are and how we conduct ourselves.
Mhm.
The first is, I say to people I say, we spend too much time at work doing what we do to not have fun while we're at work. So you can be very serious, and you can make sure that you're taking care of our patients and taking care of the things we do to support those who take care of our patients. But you have to infuse fun in the environment. So I start there. The second is I also believe in family first, and I practice that with my team. If there's a personal situation that you need to deal with, you take care of that first. We will take care of the things you need, the things at work, so you are free in your mind and in your spirit to truly focus on your family. And so that's the second thing. The third is, I believe, and I will continue to operate, as my primary job is to facilitate the success of every person on my team and anyone that I have opportunity to influence. Period. If I'm not doing that as a leader, I believe I'm failing. So I start with those three core things, and that's part of my own value system. And not only do I say it, but I live it. And I want to make sure that whatever I do is having a positive impact on those around me. And I hope that some of the things that are more personal values can help them create more balance for themselves and their lives and get more joy out of their work experience and their careers.
Yeah, I had a person that was an influencer in my life that told me early on when I was at Deloitte, he said, Mark, brilliance is simple. And I didn't get it. I got it, but I didn't get it in full back then. But every year I got more. And you remind me of a coach, I had a lot of good coaches. And when I coached too, when a coach stands behind a player, no matter what, that player will give all plus to that coach. And when you do it for something close to the person's heart, like family, then guess who knows that you really care about them? And that hits. And Maya Angelou, one of my favorite people ever, had a quote. We may have talked about this. Is that most people will forget what you've said, most people will forget what you've done, but they will always remember how you made them feel.
That's right.
Is so right on. And back to what you said about human resources.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're taking care of. So that's it's brilliant, and I'm sure you've seen, because you keep it consistent. I'm sure you've seen the results and the impact to even the business, not only taking care of patients, but the business that you're in, right?
Absolutely, and that's a great point. Oftentimes people feel to high performance and caring are mutually exclusive for some reason. They are not. They are actually, it's almost a cause and effect relationship. To your point, and I have found that the teams that I have the privilege of leading, the companies that I get to work for, that operate in this way, we are very high performing organizations. And personally, I'm extremely focused on performing at the highest levels. I have high expectations for myself and those that I work with, and we're very clear about that. But at the same time, we can get there together. We can get there by caring for each other. And those things, exactly what you said, that actually creates more commitment, a higher desire to make sure none of us fail. We are in it together, and we will make sure that we continue to hold each other up. And when someone is a little down here, the rest of us are going to come over and lift them up, because it is a team that cares for each other and cares about the individual success of each person.
Yeah, it's amazing. I had one CEO tell me he's having the best time in his 25 years of being a high-level executive, because he can be more vulnerable as ever, support people to be successful, and he doesn't have to know everything anymore.
Yes, that's a burden lifted, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. My grandparents were from Kiev, and probably like most, like yours and whatnot, they would always say to me, but with an accent, they would say, as long as you have your health, that's the most important thing. And it wasn't a brand or branding or a slogan. It was so real, to your point about family first, if something's wrong and all that. And with everything that's gone on, between COVID and Delta and technology speeding along and racial injustice, social injustice. I mean, Mother Nature is not a happy camper right now, because she's a whole lot at us. Right? Have you seen, for lack of a better word, an awakening as to what's really important to people?
Yeah, I love the reference to your grandparents. It's amazing how much we learn so much from family and previous generations. And I learned quite a bit, and have had a great affinity for my grandmother. So that touches home with me. So I appreciate you sharing that. I do believe that there's absolutely been an awakening. And I believe we're in a hopeful period where there's renewed light, but at the same time, unfortunately, we're in a place where there are too many people who are being governed by what I would refer to as our primordial fears.
Right.
That is clouding the picture and clouding our path to greater progress. I am buoyed by my own belief and experiences that not just in this country but across the globe, people mostly want things to be better for everyone. I genuinely believe that, and when the opportunity arises, like now, we tend to pull together more and overshadow those few who may have loud but very negative voices. And we just have to continue, from my perspective, continue to persevere and not allow any of that negativity to quell our quest to continue to make strides and make things better and be the collective good versus just individual and sporadic good. So I am hopeful. I'll continue to be hopeful, and I will continue to make sure I am true to who I am, and make sure people see that, because I'm a very genuine person, and anyone that is around me would attest to the fact that what you see is what you get. I'm never going to promise anything that I can't deliver on or that I don't intend on delivering on. But we have to continue to work towards that progress, and the awakening that we have seen. Although it came out of tragedy, unfortunately, oftentimes that is what is the catalyst. But we, as a society, have not allowed it to just fester. I mean, to go by the wayside and peter out. We are continually focused, and I'm energized by what I see relative to the awakening of the conscience in this country and in many countries across the world.
Yeah, I think it would be the wrong move not to be kind and to
Yes.
not be confrontational to people that have a different opinion, because the only way to bring them in is
right.
that way. And again, a sports analogy, I don't know if you ever saw any of the Mighty Ducks movies.
I did.
There was one scene where he had the young players together and he tied them with a rope and he said, "Okay, go."
Yeah.
On the ice. And they're falling all over the place until
That's right.
realize we can actually win if we go all together.
That's
And
right.
very simple, basic Disney movie, but a real story to tell.
It was. It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. If we can just stick together and move in the same direction and with a similar energy, it becomes much more powerful, and we can overcome practically anything.
Yeah, there's been a lot of studies about belonging, and after food and air and water and whatnot, they've said by far the thing that fills people's hearts and souls is to belong.
Yes.
And people want to be part of a team. They want to be part of the championship. They want to be. So you got to keep welcoming versus excluding, basically.
Yes. Yeah.
It happened. Kind of a good segue. What role do you see current and future leaders who care playing to ensure in the well-being? I look at three aspects: the financial, the physical, and the mental, which probably includes spiritual, if you will. What role do you see leadership care playing in getting those three aspects for each employee in an organization?
Sure. Yeah. A very important question, especially in the time that we're living in, because interplay of those three have never been more important than right now. And certainly the third aspect of what you just said, the mental well-being, has become even more prominent. Given the pandemic that we have been in over the last year and a half. So I'd say as business leaders, we have to make sure that we not only say we care, but we have to consistently show it in meaningful ways. That leaders speak is not going to carry the weight. It's not going to carry the weight anymore. Trust has eroded for many reasons. So you have to say what you say, but then do what you say as well. Yeah. And if you don't mind, I'll share a little bit about what we've done at TriHealth, and I don't take credit for this because it's been truly a team effort and organizational focus.
Mhm.
So for the past 6 years, we've been focusing on providing each of our team members with, full support and well-rounded support through what we call our Total Reward strategy and our Total Reward programs. And that really started for us. We started that journey by making the following explicit promise to each of our team members. We commit to supporting team members to live happy, healthy, and productive lives so they are better able to care for their families and loved ones and those that we serve. So that's where we started. We made a very strong commitment. And then over each year of the past 6 years, we have committed tens of millions of dollars each and every year, enhancing all of our Total Rewards programs, which are really 5 key areas: career development, benefits, compensation, recognition, and well-being. And that is, we're investing that each year. That's not $10 million over a total of 6 years. That's tens of millions of dollars each and every year. And oh, by the way, we are doing that as a not-for-profit health system that does not have the financial resources of many large private companies,
Right.
but it's important to us. It's critical to us, and so we find ways to do it. And we do that. We started our first phase of this we call Total Rewards 1.0, with really surveying our team members, understanding what is it that's really important to you in these 5 areas. What do you need from us to once again live that happy, healthy, productive life? And we have stuck with it, and we continue our path each and every year. In addition to that, we've woven in diversity, equity, inclusion into our overall strategy and become more of our core mission. We've done that by including our DEI goals in our incentive plan compensation each year, and through setting goals for representation, pretty aggressive goals for representation, for recruiting, and for internal promotion. The other thing that we have found, and I give our CEO Mark Clement a lot of credit for this as well, and it goes perfectly with who I am, because I am very competitive. We were not happy with stopping at saying, okay, well, we've done this for our team members. We have publicly challenged our market competitors to match where we are, not only match it, but go further than we are. So then we have another goal to try to reach. I think first of all, one of the examples of that I'd like to share is, there's a lot of talk about living wage, and we were actually the first healthcare system in this market to embark on that. We said, okay, you know what? Yes, this is going to cost us millions of dollars, but it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do, not just for our team members' financial health, but it's also good for the community, because if our team members' financial health has improved, they then have an impact on the community, which then has a broader impact overall. So it's multifactorial. So we started that, and we put a mark out there, and we publicly communicated it. And lo and behold, surprise, surprise, about within 2 months of that, every health system in this market and some non-healthcare companies announced they were going to a living wage. So we're proud of that, and we want to challenge others to continue to do better, because it can't be just one company. One company won't change a society. It won't change a community. So that's one of the things we're really focused on, is pushing the envelope.
That's spectacular. Someone once told me that you have teams in a league, they said, and if one team is constantly screwing other teams in trades and winning all the time, how valuable is that championship in that league? Right. The whole league has to be great, so that the championship, which you're all very competitive for, the championship means something, because the league is valuable.
That's right.
What you're saying is we're all in the same league.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. And we have to push each other to be better and do better for our employees or team members, associates, whatever you might use to describe the people that work in your company. But we owe it to them, and we owe it to each other to make things better for them and for our communities, and then our society as that grows and you get more exponential impact.
You absolutely do. People, everything from self-esteem to people's actual health is,
Yes.
from it. So yes, that's brilliant. Congratulations on raising the bar for everybody. Way to go.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I gotta say this, but I got one more question after this. Before, I don't know if you watch America's Got Talent at all.
I have not. I have not watched. I've not watched it recently, anyway.
Well,
I did watch Masked Singer, but
in the finals was a North. I can't remember where they were from, hospital, but a bunch of nurses, male and female.
Oh, okay.
Together, they made the finals, and
nice.
Inspirational in the type of songs they sang and the talent they had, and the care. And you can imagine how people welcomed them, not because of their being nurses, but also because of talent above that. They weren't there singing that weren't good because they were nurses. They had both, and pretty inspirational, and just aligns with the type of people that we know are there, and caring about people. So yeah, check them out. I bet you if you look,
I will. I'm glad you mentioned that to me. And you mentioned something there that I want to agree with 100%, and also emphasize, and that is, there are people who work in healthcare are very special people, because the commitment they make to the community and they make to each other is beyond anything most of us can imagine. And so for me, it is truly, going back to part of our early part of our conversation, it is an honor and a privilege for me to work in healthcare. And you are right, I ended up where I should be.
Right. It's amazing. So with that said, a client told me somewhere in the first quarter of 2021, it applies even to 2021, he said, Mark, the year has flown by slowly. He said, and I thought that was brilliant. But with unprecedented 2020, somewhat of a continuation to 2021, what are you now most grateful for, and what are you most hopeful for next year?
I keep it pretty simple. And what I'm most grateful for now is pretty similar, I would say, to what I've always been most grateful for. First is my family. I am blessed with a wonderful family, and I appreciate them, and they appreciate me. They lift me when I have times of difficulty, and vice versa. We're there for each other. And then another thing is the team that I work with. I am truly grateful for the team that I work with. That is not just lip service. I work with a fantastic team, and they've created so much lift for this organization that it astounds me. It absolutely astounds me.
That's awesome. Well, you certainly are one of the leaders who care. So congratulations on all you do, and all the whole organization is there. It's really special, and I like the fact of challenging other people to be in the game. So good for that too, and really appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Mark. I really appreciate the invitation and the time to talk about a topic that is meaningful and impactful. We need to have more leaders who care, and kudos to you for coming up with this idea, and to make sure it gets more voice and more exposure.
Thanks, appreciate that. And the next time, I'll put on a shirt with a collar. How's that?
And next time, I'll get rid of the tie.
No, we'll meet halfway. How's that?
There we go. There we go.
Hey, thanks so much.